Oi! No episódio de hoje da websérie, a gente vai conhecer o Sam Bloch, que criou a ONG Communitere há 8 anos, que cria espaços colaborativos em lugares destruídos por desastres naturais ou humanitários.
My name is Sam Bloch. I am the founder and director for an organization called Communitere International. Communitere International is the central support organization for a growing number of local organizations, resource centers that we have in Haiti, Philippines, Nepal, Greece, and now we're starting them in Uganda and Puerto Rico. I started doing developing country post-disaster work almost 13 years ago after the tsunami in Southeast Asia. At the time I was building very, very rich custom homes that I realized weren't getting used. And it was this idea of building people their second, third, fourth house and seeing so much need in the world and then seeing so much wasted resources, houses that were sitting empty 99% of the time. And I was building those in California and Lake Tahoe. At the same time, the tsunami in Southeast Asia happened. And it made me realize that I wanted to build things for people that needed them and that appreciated them and appreciated my work. And so I quit my job right after the tsunami and went to Thailand. I think the biggest difference between the way Communitere does our work and the way most of the other organizations do their work is that we try not to do anything directly for the people. The people can do their own needs. They can address their own needs. They can build their own houses. They can start their own businesses. They can grow their own food. They just need the means to do so. So I think a lot of the other organizations really look at people as just beneficiaries, is what they call it, of like, here, I'm going to give you this. I'm going to give you this. Oh, you're hungry. Here's your food. And for us, the growing need for humanitarian assistance around the world, it has to be addressed by the people themselves. It's the only way that it can grow to meet the need. Because when a disaster happens, everybody thinks of like a first responder as like a fireman or a police or search and rescue. The real first responders are your neighbors. They're the local organizations, the local maker spaces, church groups, school groups, all these different ones that aren't doing disaster relief, but they go instantly into becoming a disaster relief organization. When I first started doing this, the village that I was working in, the majority of the people were like the sole remainders of their family. They had lost their children, their wife, their parents, or their husband, or whoever they were. And that was very difficult for me. But then you see their resilience, you know, their power to keep going on, and it's actually incredibly inspiring and motivating. And you see, after a disaster, when people lose everything, is really when you see the like most beautiful part of humanity. I think that, you know, helping people is human, and community is sharing. I think that was how community came about in the world. At first it was humans, and then they came together and they said, oh, well, you have something that I could use, and I have something that you could use, and so maybe if we live in the same place and we share our skills and our resources, and this is kind of where community came from. Do I think the world is going to get more collaborative? I think it's the only way it's going to sustain. I don't know when it is that the world is going to become more collaborative. I think there's a lot of good initiatives in the sharing economy that are starting, but I think that needs a lot more of it. It's funny, a lot of these things like permaculture, the sharing economy, a lot of these things are actually the way that we just lived for tens of thousands of years. And with technology, I think we've kind of gotten away from that, and hopefully that starts to come back to where we start getting back to that, to where technology is used more to share things. Sometimes humanity needs a little slap, you know, in the disaster where people wake up and then they realize, oh wait, the way we were doing things was broken. Let's try a new way of doing things. So, I mean, it's weird to say this, but I think a lot of times in crisis, there's also a lot of opportunity to readdress and to redo the way we were doing things and to start sharing more.